I can remember when I wanted to learn more and more about rongoa Māori as the result of my whāngai mother becoming quite ill with cancer and taking my turn to care for her, people would say to me that after you leave, Donna, Mum always will take herself to the toilet, she'll sleep through the night, her appetite is better. And I'm thinking, I don't really know what's happening here. She would ask me at every moment that I could to rub her leg or rub her back, and I'd find myself doing that for 6 to 8 hours a day. And I never really understood why she was responding so well to that care. So I decided to learn a bit more about what was happening in the healing world. And I remember my other aunties saying to me, why are you doing that? Why don't you go be a real doctor? Which I thought was really odd. But over time, I came to realise that they had grown up in a world where it wasn't cool to be Māori, and they really wanted the best for me and thought that it would be better for me to learn modern medicine and to go and train medically. But having spent that time in the health science arena, I knew that it didn't quite fit my bill, so I persisted even though they weren't keen to help. And as I learnt more, they became more and more responsive and started to share the information they had in the rongoa world. And I started to learn that rongoa wasn't really about lotions and potions and making wonderful herbal medicines using our native flora and fauna. I learnt that it is so much more, that it is about a connection to the whenua. It's about knowing that we are part of nature and that we are not separate from nature. And when we use nature as our example or as our blueprint for a healthy existence, then actually we can learn a lot more about healing ourselves that way. So for me, I was hooked, and ever since I have really focused on trying to be the best practitioner I can be, combining what I've learnt in the health science arena, but what I also know to be extremely important to people of the land, to the indigenous people of a landscape. Māori didn't come to New Zealand as Māori. We became Māori. We became Māori because when we got here we had to name every part of this whenua. And of that was born Te Reo Māori. And Te Reo Māori was born of the land, and Māori became Māori as they connected to the land. Before that, we were just Pacific Island peoples looking for a better life somewhere. And when we got here and we made this our home and we learnt everything we could about this place, some through mistakes, we ate all the big birds and we got a little bit hungry and we learnt how to preserve those that we had left. And in some cases we burnt off some of the forest, but we soon realised that actually we needed a lot of that forest in order for us to survive. So we found a way to balance our need for survival and that of taking care of the land. Those things have really set me in good stead for understanding the depth that goes alongside rongoa Māori, not just lotions and potions. So I'm really pleased to have had good teachers over the years, but also based on some of my past life in the corporate world, I also learned that there were things that were not right in terms of health policy in New Zealand, and how rongoa Māori has so much more to offer, not just Māori but the people of Aotearoa, and how we are blessed for having the two, despite having a system that doesn't quite know how to embrace and include rongoa Māori. So a third of my time these days I spend in clinical practice. I think that's really important to stay relevant. A third of my time sharing the knowledge that has so generously been shared with me and tutoring others. I think that it's really important that we have people who are willing and able to share the mātauranga that goes with rongoa Māori in a way that is safe and respectful to our tupuna. And I spend the other third of my time advocating at policy level to ensure that when people who make new laws and policies in not just the health arena but the environment arena and our commercial interests are well and truly aware of the impact their policies can have on the practice of rongoa Māori and the well-being of the people of this land.